New chair, who does?
Yeah, I like it. I like the vibe in here. It's changed.
Joe stole it from somewhere. We're not going to disclose where, but
That's come from Joe's house, I reckon.
Do you reckon?
Is it?
It does have
it's a bit of mid-century kind of vibe to it, but no.
Joe's house looks like the inside of a mid-century design magazine. Funnily enough, I'm pretty sure there are mid-century design magazines in your house as well. Is that right?
There is. There's a bit of inspiration. None from myself though. It's mostly the better half that's putting that all together.
Yeah,
that doesn't surprise me.
I found myself at a market on the weekend.
Yeah,
and there was a
Matakana?
guy. No.
Takapuna?
Hobsonville.
Oh, okay.
And there was a guy there selling like pots and stuff like that.
Quite often is, eh?
And they were quite cool. My mum bought one.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, you should get one. I was like, oh, I'll bring the missus down here.
You should get one
next week.
Where's that? Hobsonville?
Yeah.
All right, I might see you there.
Yeah, come down on the weekend.
Nary a weekend goes by where Joe Jury doesn't wake up on a hangover and have to go straight to Plant Barn.
I
feel like every time I text you on a Sunday morning, you're at Plant Barn.
Yeah, bit of Plant Barn, bit of Freedom, bit of
IKEA.
No, IKEA's too mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Junk and disorderly.
Yeah.
Are we recording?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Grim Lane, where is he? What is he doing? I have seen a picture of him having a beer last night. I believe he made it to Delhi, which is outside of the dry state.
Man, I mean, if anyone, I know there's a lot of people, there's people furious on the text machine and the Hodaki Breakfast Show. If it makes you feel any better, he's having a turgid time over there because he couldn't hit the piss. They lost.
He hasn't stopped moving.
He hasn't stopped moving. He has slept in a bed once.
He's horrendous with admin as well. And so just know that he'll be just squabbling about, flapping his wings, just trying to figure out where to go, spinning around in circles, going up and down. But he is on his way back, so that's, I suppose, a positive.
How long do you reckon that beer lasted?
No, it wouldn't stood a chance. He took that photo. He would have hit
That's
post.
the second one. No, that's the second one.
He would have hit post and that beer would have been deleted before the photo got to the internet, I reckon. Like Muhammad Ali switching the bedroom lights off and getting into bed before the room went dark. That's what G Lane would have been doing over there.
Did you talk to him on the radio show yesterday?
Yeah, we did. Was it yesterday? Monday, maybe?
Yeah.
I think he's been genuinely blindsided by the amount of vitriol he's received about this whole Grim Lane curse thing.
This is the first time that he's really been a part of something that isn't
Yeah, well,
like a movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do I
Well, what it is it's the first time he's been to a final where there's been a lot of noise about the curse before the final.
Yeah.
So people were already baying for blood that he was going over there. In the past, in 2015, 2019, these things, that was the birth of the curse.
Yeah.
Now everyone's aware of the curse, and it was worst case scenario for him because he went over there and they did lose, and now, I mean,
he's copping it, man. I got to be honest. We're getting some screenshots in.
He turned his DMs off.
Yeah, he's had to. He's had to private his Instagram account, turn his DMs off, and change his phone number just so people can't get through to him. I think we are going to share some of them at some stage. But he is so often the giver of such comments or the giver of such allegations that other people are involved with things like a curse, Pinot Noirs, whatever.
Yep.
And now that he is the recipient, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Because what he has learned is people are willing to turn on him. G-Lane fans are willing to turn on him.
They're the most willing to turn on anyone.
The Lizards have done a full 180 and gone, fuck you, G-Lane.
The thing is, and the hard part about this is the only way to break the curse is to go to another final and have them win, and I think that's what he was trying to do this time around.
I'm circling the date of maybe the Super Rugby final if the Chiefs make that. I'd quite like him to go to that. Oh, but it has to be on international soil, doesn't it?
Paul Stewart had a good point where he said, you could have picked an easier assignment rather than India in India.
Yeah.
In a T20, which is not our strongest format either.
There's something about the change the pitch.
Yeah,
there's a lot of red soil, black soil
chicanery going on.
Yeah, it is a good point. He could have picked one, for example, if someone farts through into the next Rugby World Cup and we're playing like, I don't know, Tonga or something. I'd really target that for G-Lane.
That would work. It has to be a high stakes game, though, doesn't it? As well, there's a vibe thing about it. It has to pass the sniff test.
We've talked about this a lot. The criteria we set on
too much.
Yeah, the criteria we settled on was if he travels away from his home region to support his team.
Yeah, okay, right.
So that means if it's a domestic competition, if he follows the Chiefs to any other town other than Hamilton,
then
that constitutes the curse.
Oh, that's good.
And
That's
in
good
the
to know.
international team, that only counts if he's not in New Zealand, if he's overseas. So domestic, if it's outside of Hamilton, that's a curse, and international, if it's outside of New Zealand, that's a curse. We don't consider the Warriors, him showing up to a Warriors game, to be a curse.
Okay, that's good.
Because they're not from Hamilton.
Jeez, you guys have discussed this at length.
Oh, yeah. No, I think we even contacted a witch doctor or something, a Romany gypsy woman, to see if we could convey the curse from him to someone else.
Oh,
how do you get rid of a curse? Could we absolve him of the curse? Because my theory is...
Give it to Pixie or something.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you can give it to, like, animals, but I know he hates his cat.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, he could potentially convey the curse onto his cat.
That's special, yeah.
That would make that cat very powerful.
It would make a very powerful cat, yeah.
How often a cat's going to sporting fixtures?
Not
though,
often,
So I
that's
think
the thing.
that is the positive there, Joe.
Or then the other thing is, I feel like a baby, it'd be very easy to convey a curse onto a baby.
But the confusion for that child growing up, not knowing.
Well,
then
we're
finally
watching
one day
it.
finding out, like going to every sporting event this baby goes to. Just God, I've never been to a game where my team wins.
And I
Feels harsh.
I just have to assume that that's how Lane got this curse in the first place.
Do you think?
It's just an 8-year-old with a moustache.
Do you think the curse is like this interdimensional entity
Dimension.
with dementia, on level with the power of like it or The Shining?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it kind of just
Yeah.
lies dormant for a few years, and then every kind of 2 years at a major sporting event, it becomes awake, and then it draws Lane to these events.
Yeah.
And then it feeds on like anxiety and fear and like anger and sadness, and then it just disappears off again to hibernate for another 2 years or 3 years or so.
I think the opening scene for the horror movie of the Grim Lane Curse is the 2007 Cricket World Cup in Barbados. You know, and it opens on that. The credits are still rolling, and he's there, and it's like him and his mates. Woo! We're off to the West
the final.
And then they lose, and then it just goes down and down, and then it's like whoop, 4 years later.
Yeah.
And then he's here, and then whoop, 4 years later, and then
There's a franchise in it for sure as well. If you really wanted to get.
100%. There's an entire there's an entire story arc there. There's a universe that could be created around it.
Anyway,
There's a prequel. Maybe actually the first
the
one.
prequel would be good.
The first one's
There must have been
probably.
a sporting fixture when he was 11 or 12 that he can think back to that went, oh, hang on.
I feel like 2015 might be actually the first movie, and then 2007's the prequel.
The prequel, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I see.
The most recent one,
Well, the
obviously.
Aussie final at the MCG or wherever it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough with the cricket adjacent. What about the cricket itself? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did watch
Oh,
it.
you were in here with Jesus. Sorry.
No, I was only in there for a bit, but I was at home. I felt like that game was over within the first few. I mean, it was over before it even started because they stacked the deck in their favour,
Yeah.
as they do. I said on the radio the other day that it was like. It's like when a kid invites all his mates around to his backyard or like to come play PlayStation with him, and just everything is set up for him. He gives you the shitty controller,
Yeah.
changes the difficulty. He's learned all of the moves on Tekken or whatever, and he just towels you up,
Yeah.
big middle finger right in your face, and then sends you on your way. That's what it felt like.
I'm not sure if any other nation is going to win a T20 ever again after seeing the way that India played yesterday.
I don't
It was
think
one of the
so.
scariest performances I've ever seen in sport, like one of the most dominant performances. We did not even look like for a second we were in it, and Seifert was hitting back-to-back sixes from pretty much the second over.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that whole World Cup, if you told me that that's how it was going to go, I would have been happy with that. I mean, that's how I thought it was going to go anyway.
Yeah.
Our preparation for that tournament was perfect. We got absolutely towed up by India in India. That's exactly what we wanted. We wanted to be underdogs coming into it. Farted around in the pool play. Then we get through on a a washout, and then a net run rate debacle. That puts us through. We fucking hump South Africa. And then we lose
That was
in the
performance of the tournament, eh?
Yeah, and then we lose in the final. And then World Cricket, which as we know is run by Indian Cricket, select no black caps in the tournament team. Not one was listed in there. Finn Allen couldn't get a run. I was going to call him a cunt. He's probably a lovely
Tim
guy.
Seifert couldn't get a run.
Tim Seifert couldn't get a run. Rachel Ravindra couldn't get a run. I better not find out that the Indian captain is in that team, because I don't think I saw him bat once, and he doesn't bowl. And a Zimbabwean gentleman's in that team.
The Mankini.
And God bless them, they did really well. Darlings of the tournament. Were they better than us?
No, fuck
no.
Did
Was
they make
South
the
Africa
final?
better than us? No.
No.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, is there anything less relevant than the team of the tournament with the T20 World Cup? Probably not.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with how it went. We made another final.
Yeah, and I'm happy to wait till the 1 in 100 game where we do end up, things go our way and we win it. It will happen.
I saw a couple of people, may have been even retired New Zealand cricketers, who called that a choke. I don't think that's a choke. I don't think any other team would have gone anywhere near that Indian cricket team.
Who the fuck did that?
It was a pounding.
It was a pounding.
It was a pounding.
We
Yeah,
got
but
pounded.
We got pounded, but there was no shame in
didn't get
it.
choked.
Yeah,
No.
choking implies that there was a bit of shame there.
Yeah.
Choking seems like we had a chance to win.
Yeah. Now
we had no chance to win.
Now we choked and pounded South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
But we weren't choked.
What comes first?
And this one, well, it depends who's into it a bit more, I guess. But we were just pounded. We weren't choked. We can hold our heads up high. I am a little bit confused about Jacob Duffy coming in. I was a little bit disappointed about the 7 wides within the first 5 overs.
Yeah.
I don't think you beat India with if we were to beat India, everything would have had to go absolutely perfect.
It could have gone worse. When they scored 250, it felt like subpar.
100% that was unders because I think the first 3 balls of the game were dot balls.
You're right. There was a moment where there was about 4 or 5 wides within, across 2 overs or something like that. And I was thinking, we might be about to really throw this one away.
Yeah. Ferguson, Henry uncharacteristic, Duffy. So essentially they had 21 overs and we had 16 because you can just put a line through scoring off Bumrah. And I heard another podcast already starting to talk about what happens when Bumrah leaves or when he retires. There's nothing about Bumrah's action or run-up in particular that says that he couldn't play until he's 50.
Have we considered the fact that he might play for another 20 years?
LeBron James is 42. LeBron James is not playing basketball today, and on the injury report, he is listed as questionable for arthritis. That's a real fact. There's a 42-year-old man with arthritis in the NBA. So, and he's running around dunking. Bumrah comes off 3 paces, and like Lane was saying the other day, it looks like he stops before he even delivers it.
Trundles in.
There's no reason he couldn't play into his 70s.
Live from the Export Beer Garden Studio, this is the agenda for Tuesday the 10th of March, boys.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Rightio, it was so generous of the Crusaders on Saturday night to lend a helping hand to the failing franchise in the Blues and give them a win at home during their big footy Phillies and fans weekend.
Yeah.
3 guesses at who wrote that.
It could have been
Gene
any one of the 3 of us. Yeah, it is. This is something
That's a good point, actually.
This is something that because Super Rugby, let's be honest, let's just call a spade. It hasn't been quite at the heights that it used to be at. When it was the Super 12 back in the day, it would bring, the nation to its knees. When the Crusaders and the Highlanders played in the final, I've told this a million times, but the whole main street of Waimate, because we're right on the border between Canterbury and Otago.
Nice.
So half the main street's got blue and yellow balloons, half the main street's got red and black balloons. In the year of our Lord 2026, we're a long way away from that, and interest in rugby is waning.
Yeah.
Now, if the Crusaders, they cottoned onto this a couple of years ago, if they just continue to win every year, everyone else is going to take their ball and go home, and they're going to stop giving a shit about Super Rugby.
Yep.
So it's important for the Crusaders to throw these minnow teams like the Blues a bone every now and then.
It's just so generous.
Just to keep the... Well, look, you play...
Just to keep your teeth sharp, yeah.
If you're, say backyard cricket, Boxing Day, your cousins are around, you want to play all afternoon, you've got a steam on, you've scored 200 runs off 43 balls, you've set up a brick wall, it's not looking like anyone's going to get you out. You don't start tonking your nephews over the fence.
Now you throw them a bone.
You throw them a bone every now and then, you lob one up, you chip one, you hit a wall on purpose, which is 6 and out or something like that, because otherwise they're going to stop playing with you, and that's what the Crusaders are doing with Super Rugby this year, and it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Just spooning one up to the hotties.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Now, were there more people on the field than in the stands again?
Yeah.
Yes. I
There
don't know
was.
how you get more. I know we
I
talk
don't
about
know
this a
how you
lot
get
on
more
this
people in there either.
on this podcast, but
It's just because the better night is watching it at home with the fellas and then heading out for a drink.
it's
It's not going to the stadium. And
But then
heading
why
out
is
for a
everyone
drink.
going to the Warriors though?
well, why is everyone going to the Warriors? I don't know. It's
Sky Sport 1, was this a thing that was happening last year, or is this the first season that it's happened and they've just kind of slid it under the rug? But now Sky Sport 1 is obviously
Home of the Warriors.
Home of the Warriors.
Yeah,
Sky
I mean,
Sport 2 is
Rugby's on Sky Sport 2 now.
now.
Yeah.
2 and 3.
You can't argue with the ratings.
Which
Although,
is just your first point, I suppose.
I will say, and we talked about this with Joey Wheeler, the disgraced former Highlander, the zoo in Dunners is... I mean, obviously last weekend was O Week, but this weekend, again, it was packed again.
Right.
And I remember when I was down there, the zoo had just started. And, we'd go along every now and then. But the problem with the zoo was always that, one, you couldn't afford the ticket. Like, even if it was $20, that's still a box of piss to a student.
Yeah.
And also, it's 3 hours out of your night. So, generally, you'll start drinking around 11, 12.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
At your flat. Then you're steaming down to Hyde or Castle Street. Then you might go starters or cook.
You're looking at rugby as a momentum killer.
And then for 3 hours between 7 and 10, you are dead in the water off the foils. Then you roll out of there straight down to Monkey Bar and all your mates are, on a different level than you. So
you were trying to play catch up.
Yeah, it was a massive, it was actually,
I hadn't thought of that.
it was a real ball ache.
Yeah, you're right. But it's kind of the same as an adult. You're still not really that keen. You're not drinking at the pace that you would be at home.
Nah, and so
you're pulling the handbrake slightly on your night if you go to a live event.
But I think that maybe part of it is I know they get discounted or free tickets for O Week down there now. I think maybe the piss might be a little bit cheaper. Maybe people aren't drinking as heavily as when I was there, so it's not as big an interruption to their night. But whatever it is, that's working down there in the zoo.
Warriors supporters have also, just to compare the NRL and Super Rugby even further, Warriors supporters or NRL fans have been far better at teaching their kids how to support a sport as well.
That's it too, yeah. That's it. It's a cultural thing. You go there and, people are yelling, they're swearing, someone's auntie's wasted over in the corner.
Yeah.
And they were doing this when...
Entire families are going.
Yeah, sitting in the pissing sideways rain when the Warriors are, 2018 or 2017 and they're just dog shit teams getting pumped by 40 and everyone's still there just doing the damn thing.
There's not many full families going to Super Rugby anymore, I don't think.
Nah.
And that's funny because I think they tried to make it for families.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what the answer is.
Again, boy.
I did notice that the Blues sold, because it was was it an afternoon game? Was it that 5 o'clock time slot?
Good time slot.
And they sold all the tickets in the back corner because they knew that's where the sun was going to be. Yeah. That actually did look quite good. It's under that big AMI thing, that part of the stand at Eden Park. That looked like quite a nice afternoon.
Well, actually, to go one step further, there was 4 events on this weekend. There was the Horsies, there was the A-League, the Auckland FC, there was the Wars, and then there was the Blues. So I think Super Rugby got even further exposed by the fact that I think on most people's list that would be the 4th option if you were to rank what you would like to go to. Yeah. For an afternoon. I mean, maybe for most people you'd still be swapping around the Auckland FC and Super Rugby game, but there was still a lot more people at Auckland FC than there was at the Super Rugby.
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck up, Finn. So is there some other WARS news? Is that right?
There's all sorts of WARS news, sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on while we did our first pitch.
We'll take a quick break,
shall we? We've been harping on for ages, have we? Okay, we'll take a break. Right, WARS. Friday night, kicked off their season with an absolute stonker.
It was a shellacking, man. I couldn't believe it. 42 points. I think my biggest takeaways are... I actually wrote some notes on my phone. But my biggest takeaways are we're throwing the ball around a lot more. Okay. Which is great news because the identity of the Warriors underneath Webby for the last few years has just been play it very fucking safe. Okay. Win the percentages, and then there hasn't been that much razzle-dazzle, particularly since Sean Johnson retired. But I saw a bit more razzle-dazzle on the weekend, and I'm excited about that.
Courtesy of who?
Courtesy of basically everyone. Like Roger was excellent. Tanner Boyd was a standout for me. And if he can keep playing at that level, he is way younger than his hairline would lead you to believe. I think he's about 25, 26.
Oh, really?
How old is he in dog years?
He is very old.
He is a bulldog. He's an English bulldog with that long nose.
Yeah.
He kicks that ball and then he runs back. Yeah, I'm a good boy. Good boy.
Yeah.
Runs back to halfway.
He is a good boy, and he deserves many, many pats and some schmackos. His kicking game's obviously been the hallmark of his game for quite a while, and that was good as well. His running game's getting better. If he's this good, I reckon it might be him at halfback and then Metcalf at 6 when he comes back, which is where we had our best success in that 2023 Up the Wires season was with Metcalf at 6 and Sean Johnson at 7. I hope that that's the case. He looked great. We looked great. I think I'm pretty excited about that. The most exciting part is 42 points. The Warriors don't often score 42 points. Signing news. There's a few storylines come out since the last time I've been on here. Mitch Barnett obviously leaving at the end of the year on compassionate grounds.
All right.
And
discussed at length.
Yes, the Warriors have said, okay, we'll let him leave, but we want something back in return. And I think this is a precedent that's been set by Zach Lomax, so we'll get into it very shortly.
Sounds like something your pesty boss would say.
It's like, so he left the Eels. They said, you can't come back unless you play for us. He said, I want to go to Melbourne. They said, all right, well, then we want something from Melbourne. The whole thing fell over. And I think the precedent was set there that now if players leave on compassionate grounds, the team letting the player go is not just going to sit there and go, well, I hope someone comes back our way at some point in the future.
Yeah.
They're just saying, fuck that, we're not letting them go.
Nice.
Because we don't have to, because it was proved in court, because the Eels took it to court and said, we don't have to fucking just roll over and take this. We can demand fair pay back. Otherwise, we're just not letting this guy out of his contract.
Bit of a win for the Warriors, isn't it?
Compensation
for compassionate grounds.
Exactly. And so basically where we're at now in 2026 is there are trades in the NRL.
Beauty.
Because teams up until now have been a little bit worried about if we enforce this contract on this guy, are other players going to want to sign with us because they might get held to a contract they don't like anymore? I think that's all out the window now. And there's just going to be open trade back and forth, and the rumour is...
In a similar way that we imagine American sports being?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, right.
And so, at the moment, and like, salary cap's not an issue for the Warriors because we're so far under it, so we can take anyone back. The rumour at the moment, he did meet with Madge Maguire, who's the coach of the Broncos. If he went there next year, because Payne Haas is leaving, so then that opens up a prop spot for them, then we would take back Ben Takuta, who's an up-and-coming forward, and then Jesse Arthurs, who is arguably the hottest centre in the competition, looks-wise. And I think if we learned anything from the Broncos last year, hot dudes win championships. And we need as many hot dudes in our team as we can. So that's great news for the Warriors. Other Warriors news is Will Warbrook potentially looking to sign on from next year for multiple years. This is great again. I think we've been crying out for an elite winger for quite a while, and here's one. He's a Kiwi. He is a triple international.
Wow.
He played for the Kiwis. He has played for the New Zealand Sevens team that went to the Olympics. He's got the rings tattooed on his arm. And he also played for the New Zealand Aussie Rules team. So he is a triple international. And we're looking at signing him from next year as well, which is great. I mean, if we got Arthurs
What side of the field does he play on?
Left. He's a winger. If we could have him, which is where Roger is at the moment, but I'm sure he could play on the other side. Look, that'd be a question for Webby. But if we could get Jesse Arthurs,
might be made up for him that decision.
And Will Warbrook into the, that's I wouldn't say a massive upgrade, but it'll be good. It'll be a good thing to happen.
What's the next game then for the Warriors?
The Warriors play on Friday night,
Yeah.
and they play again. I think it's the Raiders.
Okay, how are they looking this year? Oh, well, actually, just give us your brief first round thoughts. I know you're probably going to do a Mad Monday podcast with someone all this week, but
massively overexcited for how well the Warriors could potentially do this year after seeing that.
Oh, really? Okay.
We snuffed out a team full of superstars. They've got talent all across the field. They are so far over the salary cap, the NRL will never look into it. Is basically, yeah. So the odds are stacked in their favour, and not only did we snuff them out, which was just so good to watch, but scoring 42 points, that's the biggest thing for me. And that could have been easily 46 points because we missed a couple of kicks, give the tee to Adam Pompey. But that's always been the Achilles heel of the Warriors. So, yeah, I'm very high on the Warriors. In league adjacent news, Zach Lomax, who I was talking about before, he's just signed with the Western Weakness for 2 years.
For a couple of years, hey, yeah.
So he'll be in, you'd have to think, Super Rugby this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then potentially playing for the Wallabies at the World Cup next year, which I think was always his plan.
How do you reckon he'll go in rugby?
He'll go really, really good because he was so famously, he didn't want to play centre. He wanted to play centre. He didn't want to play wing. They forced him to play on the wing. He made State of Origin. He was one of probably the best winger in the competition. He's incredible in the air. He's got a nose that comes directly out of his forehead like a dog. He's strong. He kicks, drop goals, everything. I think he should play on the wing, and he'll be fucking tremendous at rugby union. Why he's gone to the Western weakness, I have no idea. Because that's such a hiding to nothing. Because you play over in Perth.
I don't think their wingers have touched the ball in the last 5 years.
It's a 5-hour flight from Perth to Sydney.
They're not bad this year, though.
No, they were all right.
They were all right. They got beaten by the Landers on the weekend.
I reckon I know why he went to
The Western weakness.
Western weakness. He'll just heaps of game time. Doesn't really matter if they win or lose. No pressure. Doesn't really matter.
He's probably told them, I'm going to stay in Sydney.
Yeah, I'm going to get the ball a heap and just play.
So you guys train at Subiaco Oval over there in Joondalup, South Perth, and then I'll meet you guys over here when you come over. I reckon that's probably about it. But yeah, so that's all the news about the WARS and WARS adjacent players.
Bro, all right. Tonight, by the way, our the ACC Super Lawn Bowls competition returns for probably about its third or fourth year. I just have
Third?
nightmares.
Super Bowl 3.
I think I won last year.
No, Heath won.
Yeah, I was on his team.
Oh, right.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Okay, if you can't beat him, join him because I believe he also won in the first year.
He did, and I wasn't playing against him then. But that was
You
when
were in that team, Finn.
Yeah, I was in that team.
So Heath just sluts it around.
He does.
Yeah.
He just finds his favourite.
Young familiar.
Whoever's looking good in the warm-ups, he just goes, you're with me today.
He's the Indian cricket team of influence.
Brings his
lawn
own bowls.
Yeah, he brings his own bowls.
Oh, he does too.
I have it on good authority. He has changed the bowls turf from red to black soil,
Yeah.
which suits him a little bit more. So yeah, he stacked the deck in his favour.
Well, G Lane was going to be running this bitch, but he's not here. So if you do
running
want to
this
come
bitch.
down and help, give us a bit of a hand running this thing this afternoon, would love for you to come down. We'll just take a bit of a tenner off you if that's okay. That'll get you a hot dog and a few drink vouchers as well. We're all going to be down there. Well, everyone in this room is going to be
Worth
there.
it. I might have to jet, but can I just tell a relatable anecdote if I could on my way out?
Yeah, please do.
We once had a lawn bowls tournament by way of like an end of year breakup at this very establishment.
Yeah.
G Lane's phone was connected to the speaker, and as you know, when you finish one end, you go down to the other end. He couldn't hear the speaker, but there were old ladies doing their weekly lawn bowls at the same time, and as he walked down to the other end, Spotify threw up my neck, my back, my pussy, and my crack to the dismay of the old ladies doing their weekly bowls.
Right, they didn't love it.
So if you are keen to witness something akin to that, then
Join us. ACC /shop, and you can buy yourself a ticket for a tenner, and then it'll get you, again, some dinner and a couple of drinks vouchers.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Oh, Joe Jerry, just you and me then, eh, boy. This is the time of the show where we get to hear from you, the listener. Would love to hear your thoughts, prayers, concerns. We've been getting a lot of talkbacks, I understand, around the curse of Grim Lane. I think
Yes.
we're going to hold some off to
Yep.
play to G Lane when he gets back.
Yeah, he needs to take that punishment when he gets back.
Yeah, okay, so are these just fairly sensible?
There's a lot of
Not
Crusaders
that they
hate,
aren't sensible.
so-
Oh, okay,
I feel
right.
like that sums us up.
We deserve to take that one. Okay. First one of the day. Yours, please.
Yeah, hi Agenda. I'm just here with the People's Burner. He was wondering why Manaia blocked him. He gave you so many good tips over the years. He gave you good multis. He showed you good wins. And you've done nothing but disown him, embarrass him in front of people. G Lane, you haven't opened the messages. You haven't replied. Yeah, we'll be rating on that. Thank you.
Wow, Manaia, what would you like to say for yourself?
The People's Burner is a horrendous account that just sends ACC members love and then hate in the most bipolar fashion I've ever seen in my life. Have you received any messages from the People's Burner?
Well, there's so many I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't really look at the names.
that's good. If he gets you on a bad night, you might just want to jump in the bath of the toaster, and if he gets you on a good night, then he will help you win $25 on whatever.
Is it a tips?
Oh, I think him and Manaia's relationship might have been.
Right.
Do you know the People's Burner?
No.
No, neither.
Okay. Well,
I think that.
get in touch.
By the way, mate. Okay, I'm here with the People's Burner.
So he couldn't even stand up and make his
No,
own.
like you're the People's Burner, brother.
Oh, right. He was trying to be a
I just asking for my
anonymous.
mate. Surely that's him, right? I mean, it did sound like he was at a party or something, but anyway, we'll pass that message on to Manaia. Not great us playing that message as Manaia's just
As he was
the
walking
door.
out the door. Maybe he knew something.
Maybe he did. Next one, yours, please.
Warriors mana. Warriors mana. Is anyone else a bit feeling a bit uneasy that the fact we got quite a few calls go our way for a change in that game?
That was bizarre.
I really feel uneasy about it. Doesn't seem like that's very NRL at all, but hey, we'll take it. On to the next one. Oh, by the way, up the Black Caps, win or lose.
On the booze.
What a good man. Yeah, that was a little bit... the bunker really favoured the Warriors.
It was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You were joining us for... Well, I mean, Yeah, another look how the sausage is made here. There was 2 commentaries going on at the same time. Well, there's one watch-along going on in the Betcha Lounge next door with myself, Isaac Silly, Betcha Blake, and then in here there was McConey and G Lane just jizzing at the
it was uncomfortable
television as they watched the Chiefs pile on some points against Moana Pacifica. So he decided to come and join us for about the last 3 quarters of that game. It was quite good to have you in there, Joe, actually. But yeah, it was fairly, there was a lot of that, wasn't there? I was surprised. There was a couple of challenges. Well, the first 20 minutes was fairly bunker heavy, that game. But yeah, no, it's relatively unsettling, and we are going to have to keep an eye on that moving forward.
I'll get us once they come to the playoffs.
Yeah,
really fuck us.
I do feel if we keep having games like that my daddy issues around the bunker and the NRL officiating is going to go away. And I've become so used to it that I feel like it's nice to be the team that always gets shat on, but it tends to just happen at the wrong times. It's in the knockout games and shit where you can't come back from things like that. It's just fucking
great result for the Betcha pot though. Everyone who jumped into your pot, they
doubled their money.
Yeah,
and some.
Yeah.
So next time we do one of those, we should we'll fire out the details a little bit earlier so you can join that Betcha pot. I mean, I can't guarantee you're going to double your money every week, that's for sure. But it was a start.
You'll have a good time though.
At least we kind of we backed ourselves into a corner a bit because we were so unconfident heading into that game because again we've all been hurt before by the Warriors and the NRL. These things happen. But we ended up putting a lot of money on Roosters try scorers.
It was a smart play.
So it was.
Which didn't actually come off. Except for
it ended up being best case scenario because some of the few that we did put on the Roosters actually came off, but it wasn't enough for them to beat the Waz. But yeah, everyone that jumped in that Betcha pot doubled their money. I think Betcha Blake, who was doing the broadcast, put $4 in, so he doubled his money to $9.
He'd probably put
These are the riches we're making, people.
He'd probably put the rest of it on some 18-league multi that has been sitting on for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, he hasn't paid off any of his student loan.
He is a degenerate when it comes to betting.
He's like 50 cents on a 12-legged cockroach and then
gets back $2.
Goes again, next one. Yours, please.
G'day, boys. Tony Lyle here listening in the car. Great call, can I just say. It's a really awful game. God, the Crusaders are shit, and no one likes the Blues. Up the fucking Landers is what I'm trying to say here. And I'd also just like to say tickets to my Comedy Festival show are available now in Auckland, 2 nights only in May. Go to comedyfestival.co.nz and type in Tony Lyle. All right, boys. Have a good rest of your call. Up the Landers.
Okay.
I appreciate that. He's used talkback for promotional.
Yeah, I don't hate that part of it. It's a risky manoeuvre, though, isn't it? Calling out. Majority of New Zealanders are either Blues or Crusaders fans. And then going, fuck the Blues, fuck the Crusaders, but hey guys, if anyone wants to buy a ticket to my comedy show, it just feels like we need another compliment at the end of that.
Especially when his gigs are probably only in Auckland.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an interesting manoeuvre there.
Not Dunedin.
But hey, if that tickles your fancy, if Tony Lyle gets you going. What did he say? TonyLyle.co.nz.
Yep.
Does he have his own website?
Or go to the New Zealand...
Comedians do that, don't they? They get their own websites.
Or go to the New Zealand Comedy Fest site, I think, and search Tony Lyle.
Okay.
And you'll find it that way.
That's good. A bit of charity work. Done. Next one, yours, please.
Hey, crew. Tyrone here.
Tyrone.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
What's up, boy? Great pipes.
Just watching the Warriors, and I'm just like, mate, does Monty Beetham hate the Warriors? Love your work. Big ups to you, G Lane. You're my favourite influencer, and I love you. The ACC Head, Joe Jury. Appreciate it. And you, Finn Caddie. You're right, mate.
Sure, boy. You're right, mate.
Thanks, Tyrone.
Tyrone seems like a good cunt. A lot to go over there. There's something that happens to people that have become broadcasters that have represented the teams that they've now that they're now commentating, and they've been hurt as supporters for years after they've played for that team. Like, we spent hours talking about this across the course of the T20 World Cup with Ian Smith and Dooley at times of like, do you guys even like because you listen to Aussie commentators and they're so shamelessly biased, but I think I might be realising that I'm a little bit jealous of that, Joe. Like I want
a homer. You want the homer.
Me?
You want the homer.
Right, okay.
You want the homer call. You don't want... That's why Dye was so good.
Yeah.
And the Mad Monday guys were so good on the wires, because they just leant into being a fan.
And I think they're so worried about going that way, or they've got in their head, like Monty Beetham is so worried about coming across as biased to the wires.
Yeah,
that they've just swung the other way.
Yeah, it goes the other way. It's very... Yeah, I guess similar to Ian Smith, but I think he's got other ulterior motives as well. Score settling.
Yeah, that's right.
Getting the Indian broadcasters on the side. But it's just... At least he's not block a roach, though.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, block a roach.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. Anyway, good on you, Tyrone. Send us another message, mate. Anyway, next one.
Two more to go.
Yours, please.
Crusaders have no mana. Blues mana?
A blues mana. Get the fuck out of here.
There was no mana even the way you asked that question.
There's no blues mana. No one even turns up to the games.
We need to hold G-Lane to that offer that he made a couple of weeks ago, though, Joe Jury, in regards to the cardboard sign out the front of Te Kaha on Super weekend, where he was going to put up a cardboard sign.
The Crusaders have no mana.
Crusaders have no mana, and we just have to stand there and see what happens. So if anyone's got any, I don't know, locations that we can stand or we can add to that, sing out.
We are going down to Christchurch for the Super Round, so if anyone's got a flat that we can crash on, or a floor that we can have, or go somewhere for a bit of pre-drinks.
Oh, are we actually looking for a prees?
Bit of afternoon.
Are we not doing a prees?
Bit of afternoon. I think we're trying to find a venue. So if anyone knows of a good venue in Christchurch,
sing out
that we can put a good fucking party on.
We'll bring a couple of kegs. The prerequisites are you have to have kegs open to an export. We'll bring the kegs. And what are the other prerequisites we need for a venue down in Christchurch?
Good bit of food.
Yeah. Are we going to be enforcing
screens?
The infamous Christchurch dress code?
TAB?
Of jogger jeans, like a pink checkered or just a checkered kind of, dress shirt.
Sunglasses on the back of your head.
Sunglasses on the back of the head and a...
rod and gun.
And some rod and gun, and then some R.M. Williams on foot. Next one?
Last one. Here we go.
Last one.
Fuck the Crusaders.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Fuck
okay.
Canterbury. Fuck you, Mashy. Fuck you, Joe. Love you, Joe. You're a great person. Up the Blues. Blues mana. Thank you, G-Lane, for putting yourself behind the Blues this weekend. That's all we needed. Up the Blues. Up the Blues mana. Yeah.
Come and watch a game at Eden Park, you mup.
I like how now every time there's like whoever the best team in New Zealand is, it's like the Chiefs mana. Then it goes to the Crusaders mana.
Yeah.
And then they lose. It's better than the Shield. This is like the mana shield. So then whoever wins that game, then they're the Blues mana.
There need to be some kind of mana stick that's made up.
The mana stick would be great.
If we have a mana stick that we can pass around the regions, it'll definitely move faster than the Shield.
I think there's a bit of Kane's mana going on at the moment. They look pretty good.
So how do you win? There's some legs in this idea.
You just got to beat the team that's the mana team at the moment.
Yeah, and maybe we just put the logos up on the wall here in the studio or something like that. And then whoever's got it's just a Ranfurly Shield set up.
Yeah, and then
it's the mana stick.
Yeah, hang the mana stick from the rafters. So the Blues have the mana stick at the moment.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Because they beat the Crusaders. So I think that's how it goes. Then they just whoever beats the Blues next, they take the mana stick.
I'm gonna get the draw up. We've got nowhere to be, do we? Who's next for the Blues?
Who's next for the Blues? I think they play Friday nights. Do they? Is that a game we're commentating, maybe? Here we go. What round are we in? 13. Hurricanes Force.
Okay.
Friday night. Crusaders Highlanders.
Nah.
So I think the Blues play Saturday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon at 3:35 against Moana Pacifica.
Ooh, Pacifica mana.
I mean, there's some real Moana mana there.
Oh, Moana mana would be good.
Yeah. Well, I think it's
already mana, but
if we were going to be honest, there's probably the most mana over there.
They need the stick.
They need the stick to officially be crowned. Okay. Should we fuck off?
Yep. We need to get to Mount Eden Bowls.
No, we don't. I'm going to commit suicide before then.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.